I got your bitch. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. They are to be ashamed. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn right, bitch. Look at here. There you go. They're out here sharing marijuana. Look at here. There you go. The same old nasty ass people from last week. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn right, bitch. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. 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 Goddamn right, bitch. Goddamn right, bitch. Goddamn right, bitch. Goddamn right, bitch. Corner doing dope. 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 Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn right, bitch. Look at here. There you go. They're out here sharing marijuana. Look at here. There you go. The same old nasty ass people from last week. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn right, bitch. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting down the goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. 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 Goddamn right, bitch. Goddamn right, bitch. Goddamn right, bitch. Goddamn right, bitch. Corner doing dope. 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 Corner doing dope.
Make it clap. Live from the BiffNet Studios World Headquarters in Spring, Texas, it's Barry on Deck, hosted by former ESPN Houston radio host and stand-up comedian Barry Laminack, starring Oliver the Cat. Written by Barry Laminack, produced by Barry Laminack, directed by, you guessed it, Barry Laminack, featuring sports, entertainment, special guests, film sessions, and some drinking. Okay, a lot of drinking. Viewer discretion is advised. And now, here's your host, Barry Laminack.
What's up, you damn dirty deckheads? Welcome to Barry on Deck. I am your host, Barry Laminack, and thank you guys for being here. Today is Thursday, December 11th, 2025. This is episode number 1017 of Barry on Deck. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the program. Hey, hello. Hi, how you doing? Hope you're good wherever you are. Hope you're having a fantastic day, a fantastic week, fantastic month, fantastic year. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how much that Corner Doing Dope song is needed until you haven't heard it in a while. What up, Ivan? It's good to see you, pimpin'. Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here, brother. What up, Jet? Good to see you as well. Jet's in the building. Chewy's in the house. What's up, Chewy? All right, so, well, I am waiting to hear back from my guest, scheduled guest, for the day. If you don't know, supposed to be joining me on the show, my old partner in crime, that old co-host of mine, Joseph Blankenship, going to be joining me. Joel Blank going to join me, and hopefully sooner rather than later, I have sent him the link and the text, and hopefully it goes okay. Other than that, I hope you're well. Yeah, that's what we're doing here. I was trying to get the what's it called? No, not that. You raggedy bitch. I was trying to get the fantasy squared away because we got to do our pick'em today, and I forgot about it. I was so busy doing other shit that I forgot about our fantasy for the week. So you have to bear with me. I'll do that while we're talking. I'll do that while we're doing the show. I can do both. I have become pretty good at multitasking. Not great, but good. CC, go Pack, go, please. For those of you that have not joined in a while, you see that right there? That is CC. That is Crystal Collins. That is the die hard. Like, she runs the largest Dallas Cowboys fan club of the world, Craig. That's 1,000% what it is, Ivan. Ivan says she must have lost a bet. Yeah. Bigly, too. She lost it to this man right here, Jeff Bell. And all he does every time he's in the chat with her is he's like, hey, Cece. It's so great. Poor Cece. I feel so bad for her. If you knew how big of a Cowboys fan she was, you would know how much it crushes her to have to display that stupid ass Bronco. In her words, not mine, Jeff Bell. What up, Christian Gary? Chris said, cowgirls suck. Well, okay. You're gonna... CC said, suck it, bellhole. Oh, that's hilarious. So, her blood pressure is so high right now. Oh, her blood pressure has been high since the damn game that they bet on. How long are we going on now, CC? How long has this been? Let me hold on, let me pull up the Broncos schedule. Let me see. The Broncos and the Cowboys played. Good Lord. How long ago was this? Week 8, October 26th. She's had that logo since October 27th. And she's had it on her socials too. So that's what sucks. Excuse me. And she can't change it until the Broncos lose. That's right. She can't change it until the Broncos lose. So since beating the Cowboys, the Broncos have beat the Texans 18-15, Vegas 10-7, Kansas City 22-19. It took overtime, but they beat Washington, and then they just beat Vegas again 24-17. So she does have luck on her side, at least schedule-wise. The Broncos finished the season with Green Bay, Jacksonville, Kansas City, and Los Angeles. And who would have thought that the easiest win of those 4 would be Kansas City? That's crazy. That's crazy. Jess said Jeff Bell's an evil dude. He knew what he was doing. He knew exactly what the hell he was doing. Oh, yeah. Don't forget the $10 he won. Bet on FanDuel that won 180. Yeah, that too. Jeff Bell just killing life, man. Just killing it. Just absolutely. The Broncos lost 2 games this year. Game number 2 and game number 3 of their season to Indy and the Chargers. And they haven't looked back. They opened beating Tennessee, lost to Indy, lost to the Chargers, and have been off and running ever since. And they've beat some good teams along the way. They beat Philly in week 5. New York, was that game, was Scatabo still playing? Because that's when they were good. Let's see. Bucks score. Yep. They beat the Giants when the Giants had Dart and Scatabo. That's pretty good. They still aren't a good football team. Don't get me wrong. But even then, because they had wins over the Chargers and Eagles, did the New York Giants, but they were 2-4 going into that game against Denver. So not a great win there, but 33-32 was the final. They beat the Cowboys. Good team, not great. They beat Houston. Good team, not great. Beat Kansas City. They've got some good wins on their schedule. And they'll get a shot at redemption against the Chargers in week 18. So now you're caught up on CC's Life of Hell. So fun. So funny. Okay. All right. So let me get all this fantasy shit squared away. In the meantime, y'all watch anything good last night? Anybody tune into anything? I watched another documentary. Ninja Sussly. Sad thing, we talked about a party this weekend. If they win the Super Bowl, I have to keep this raggedy pig forever. Yeah. And you know what? They kind of could. They kind of could. I mean, they're that good. They're good enough. They're good enough. They're good enough. Total Dallas said I watched the Eddie documentary. Nice. Oh, The Abandons on Netflix. Do it, says Ivan. So I watched the Sylvester Stallone documentary. And it was good. It was good too. Oh, wow. Christian Gary, I didn't know. Says, I watched the Stuart Scott 30 for 30 last night. It was fun and emotional to get through. I watched a Zoom meeting with Ken Burns hosted by Sharon McMahon. Talked about his American Revolutionary documentary. Really? I've heard that's good. Isn't that on like PBS? I've heard it's really good. The reason you can't see Total Dallas's punk ass is he's on YouTube. You see that little square right there? That little thingy-mabopper? That signifies YouTube. Like when I put yours on the screen, it's purple for Twitch. See that right there? That's Twitch. I should probably make those bigger. I watched the Cougs win by 42. Damn. Secrets of the Bunny Ranch on Hulu was really good. That dude was a pig. Oh, yeah. You expected anything else from a guy that runs a brothel? Were you expecting, like, oh, that's a man of the cloth? I mean, not that they wouldn't do that. No offense, Cece. But, I mean. Trying to do Joel's Stephen A. It just sounded like Cosby. And then it just morphed into Andrew Dice Clay. So that's where I'm at in my life. At least it didn't go Australian or Kermit the Frog, right? Go fuck yourselves. All right. The show is off the rails already. What? Can't believe it. We're just waiting for Joel to join. Sorry, damn it. We need legal brothels in Texas. Maybe someday a guy can dream. Chewy says, and I quote, we need whorehouses. Well, yeah, I could see a boost to the economy. Jasmine, that's how I like it, off the rails. There was this thing that a buddy of mine in comedy, he wants to shoot a sketch, and the sketch is because Governor Abbott just signed a bill or a law, or I don't know what it was, but he basically has made the mandate that coaches can no longer call their players gay. Can't do it anymore. That's what our government has been up to. Yeah, blame Marvin for no more whorehouses. Yeah, I know. Greg Abbott, law, football coaches. Let me see if I can find the. Texas Governor Greg Abbott has interacted with football coaches on several legislation, fentanyl awareness campaign. No. House Bill 126 widens existing NIL legislation.
Heck yeah!
Let's see. Hold on. Call players gay? Oh, gosh. No, there's no specific law. Focus on passing laws or restrict participation. Okay, no. Oh, where was it? He told me about it. I don't know. I can't find it now. Damn it. Donna, ain't that the truth? I wonder if he just made this up. He's like, oh, this happened, Barry. We got to shoot a sketch. And I'm like, okay. Okay. I believe you. Cisco said, what about Matt Gay? Nope. Not anymore. Now you got to call him Matt Happy. Them's the rules, Cisco. Them's the rules. I don't know what to tell you. Now when your coach is like, get your happy ass over here. Huh? You know what he means. You know what he's saying. All right. I don't think my boy is going to make it today. It looks like a no-go. Look, he's out hustling, okay? I get it. Abbott's cousin's company. What Donna say? They closed that whorehouse over there on Long Point. What? I didn't even know there was a whorehouse on Long Point. I just call them Sally's. That's the same. You can't do that. You can't do it. That's a nickname. That's a slur. Not allowed. I really don't know if it's true now. Like normally, if it was true, that would have came up right away. So I'm wondering if this was just his idea for a sketch. Because I swear, I was very sleepy though when he called me at fucking 7:10 in the morning. And I was like, nope, not doing that. And he called right back again. What is going on in my face? It's like a dent or something? Damn. You fat as fuck when you getting cellulite on your face. But he was like, he called me at 7:10. Nope, not ready yet. I'm just rolling over. And then he was like, he called me at 7:30 and I was like, no. And I put it to voicemail and text him. I was like, bro, let me get some coffee in me and I will call you back. 2 minutes later, he called again. I was like, well, he must be in trouble. He must be in trouble. So I answered it. I was like, hey man, you okay? He goes, yeah, I just wanted to run a sketch by you. I was like, bro, I said I would fucking call you back when I got coffee. And he goes, I know, I don't care. I was like, you asshole. Oops. Let's see. I am exchanging texts with Joel. It is not good news. I mean, it's not, anything bad going on. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen. It might. You definitely aren't going to get an hour's worth of it though. I don't believe. Cause I do know he's got to leave at 4:30. So there's that. Let me see. I hope this works. Oh, thank God it did. Thank God. I'm updating the fantasy, and this little raggedy ass script that I wrote, it has not been acting right, to say the least. All right. Behan in Third Ward, Detray. Oh. No, that's later, Donna. Let me. Okay. There wasn't a whole lot that we didn't get to. If Joel doesn't show up, we can always roast Total Dallas. I mean, we can. Not that that's nice or fair. Also, here's a tip. CC said, never go running when your car is getting work done at the BMW place on 59. Okay. I need to know now. What's the context here? CC, what's the context? What'd you do? What did you do? I need to know now, CC. I got to know. Ooh. What the hell? Of course, this is going to error out. Oh, no, it worked. Thank God. I was getting nervous. You bitch. Oh. Picking up the girls at the school isn't helping. Same as dropping off the boys at the pool. Nope. I don't want to get honked at. No, I need to know. I need to. Yeah, partially it depends on the spot on 59. Oh, it's close to where all the whores hang out on Bissonnette. Oh, so you dropped your car off and were like, well, while I wait, I'm going to go for a run on Bissonnette. Not wise, guys. Potch, thank you for resubscribing for 46 months. That's crazy talk. Dre resubscribed for 35 months for 41 months. That's crazy talk. What up, Dre? All right, I have a response. we will have Joseph Blankenship joining us at 4 p.m. He's going to go until about 4:40 since, you know, he couldn't join right on time. He's going to join us top of the hour. Thank you, Heartthrob. Heartthrob's a great callback. Not wise guys. In the meantime, let's run through fantasy. Nate! Nate just resubscribed for 42 months. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. I realized that my mom had the stupidest sayings as a parent because, you know, that's part of the reason why I don't have kids. Nobody had cool sayings in my family to pass down. Because a lot of times you become your parents and you use the same sayings that they do. My mom, whom pretty much raised me, Jenny's mom, was, you know, single mom, raising kids. But she had the dumbest sayings I've ever heard. An example was that one. If she did something and was like, ha, in your face. No, she wouldn't say in your face. She wouldn't say, you know, take that like she's P. Diddy. Take that, take that, take that. No, she'd go, ha, put that in your pipe and smoke it. What? Why? And I really feel like my mom just, all of her sayings, they were just commercials. Like, I swear to God, if you questioned her, I'm in. Yo, that's crazy. Ivan just resubscribed with his Prime for 38 months. Damn, we got a hype train going. I gotta get out the old basil. I've heard that saying of Jenny's. Yeah, but this is the other problem. And she would also say shit like, you got it, Toyota. Fucking what? What? That's what she would say. Yeah. I'd be like, are you serious? I have to clean my room? She'd be like, you got it, Toyota. That's crazy. That's... what the fuck? Yeah. Why? That is terrible. I was waiting for her to be like, oh yeah? Where's the beef? What the fuck are you, mother? What are you talking? You have the worst sayings. She would say shit. That Toyota thing was a commercial. I know, CC, I know that. But like, why did you need to say that like that? You know what I mean? Like, it don't make no sense. I don't know. It doesn't. It did not make any sense to me. I'm just going to put it out there. Why is this say working? That's weird. That's weird. See if I can refresh these. Yeah, look, Jenny, great mom, wonderful mother. Terrible sayings. I've never been told where's the beef. They found it. Oh, shut up. Shut up, Dre. Did she ever throw a tire through a window? Yeah. And then she would look at me and go, I'll put the yeehaw back in your motor and transmission, asshole. And then what? Yeah, that's what she'd say. That's what she'd say. Yeah, that was one of her sayings, I guess. I don't know. This is so stupid. That was stupid. Okay. Oh, that's right. I was like, who was our matchup of the week? It was John Wessling versus Keith Sager. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Here it is. That was your matchup of the week for week 14. So in case you're wondering who won that matchup, John Wessling beat Keith 112-95. So that means, Mark, Total Dallas, Nope, sorry. Terrence filled it out twice and changed his mind. So you gotta go with the second one. Titan Hugo and Alex Villanueva got it right. Mark, Total Dallas, Titan Hugo, Alex Villanueva. So Alex Villanueva, Titan Hugo, Total Dallas, Mark G. The rest of us got it wrong. That's what I get for picking Keith Sager. I should have just rolled with Westling. Damn it. Damn it to heck. So your new standings look like the following. Just give me a goddamn minute here. Yes. Okay. Updated. Let this will flip in just 1 second. Okay. I bet on Westling because his team been beating Irwin's ass like a drum all year. I know. Keith said I haven't bet all year. Yeah, I know, Keith. You have 2 wins. Oh, I haven't beat him all year? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Oh, how many? Oh, you played him twice? I got you. There you go. So here's your new leaderboard. Alex Villanueva has 9 points. Titan Hugo has 9 points. And myself, Cece, and Donna have 8. Total Dallas has 7. Mark now alone in whatever place with 5. Jeff, Jen, Terrence have 4. PB Dubs, Sylvia, Spoon have 3. Chris from Sam Houston, Keith Sager, Christopher Mina, and the Real have 2 points. By the way, the points next to your name, that's how many dollars you will get back no matter what at the end of the season. All right. So you can see up top, total money in the winner pool, $189. Not bad for a $20 investment. I mean, it could get, if you got it every week right, it was a $2 investment. But first place gets $132.30. Second place will get $56.70. If it's a tie, then you just split it. That's simple. So, Dubs, that I forget to pick every damn week. Well, get on your shit, Dubs. Get your money back. Speaking of money, Ivan owes me some loot. Oh, Ivan, what'd you do? That slide shows Keith winning. What did I miss? Oh, no, that was the predicting slide. That was just the prediction. This is just a matchup prediction. This wasn't the actual results. The actual results is Ratchet here. Here's the results. That's League 4 right there. You can see number 2 on the list. John Westling, 112. Why does that say, race? What the fuck? I don't understand. Oh, marbles. I was like, why is this? I forgot about that stupid ass marbles block I put on everything. Dre kept trying to say marbles in the chat. The chat bot was like, he hates that fucking word. Don't say that. That was back when what's his name was doing a show, Jerry, before me, and he'd run marbles on purpose into my stream. Jackass. All right. This, ladies and gentlemen, is for the hype trade, man. Thank you guys so much. Love you guys. We had Ivan resubscribe, Nasty Nate, Dr. Dre, and Potch. All that created the hype train. 94% level 1, 3 subs. You guys are the best. Thank you. Delicious. Well, ladies and gentlemen, It's that time. I'll give you a sec. I see you still getting ready. You good? Just give me a thumbs up. Okay. Oh, don't yell at me. I gotta zoom him out a little bit though. His camera is a little wide. I had to zoom it in because of Jenny. Like when she joins, her camera's all wonky and shit. So I have to fix it. All right. Don't yell at me, Joel. Hold on. Reset. There we go. Whoa. Let me see. Yeah. That's a little better. Pretty. That's as good as I can do, buddy. You're going to have to like zoom out or something if you don't like it. All right. Okay. He goes, I don't give a shit. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen. Moment a lot of you maybe have been waiting for. I don't know. I have. I know this is going to be fun. But joining me on the program right now, this man really needs no introduction, but I'm going to give him one because I love him. You know him as a 20-plus year vet from the Houston Rockets organization. He was with the Portland Trailblazers organization. I don't remember how many years it was, but that doesn't matter because he was the co-host with me on The Usual Suspects. He's my dude. He's my ace, and I'm glad he's here. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the show, Joe Blake, everybody. Joe!
There was a guy that used to be in the market that used to say, "What up, H-Town?
Hey!
How we doing?"
Yeah, baby!
Wow.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
I mean, based on your post, I can agree with you. I've found out just the trials and the tribulations of how brutally frustrating and how much BS job hiring and job possibilities on the internet are.
Yeah, it ain't fun. You know what I mean? It is brutal.
Yeah.
What's been the biggest challenge you found in all this?
I think first and foremost is like you have contacts. Everybody says, and again, you and I've had this conversation. I appreciate people, but the last thing I need to hear is everybody saying you're going to be better off than you've ever been. You're going to land on your feet. You know too many people. Don't worry about it, because you worry about it and you lose sleep over it. And you think until it happens that it's not going to happen. And so far it hasn't. So you kind of just take it a day at a time, try to stay positive. But like the internet websites, and I was told multiple times, like it is a black hole and a cesspool of just BS until you actually live it and you realize that like Indeed, LinkedIn to some degree, and ZipRecruiter, they put the same jobs out there every single day. They keep making you believe that you are applying for a job that just came open. And all they're doing is making sure that it looks like there's enough jobs that they have to offer people, that people keep signing up and spending money to keep, the highest level of possibilities open for them just to get kicked in the balls.
God,
That's my synopsis.
that is the best summary of the job market right now I have heard. That is so spot on. So, I still, like, my dumb ass, like, I signed up for these emails, right? So I get emails all the time from Google or from LinkedIn. That's the two where I did it. And it's basically just a job posting. You know what I mean? So you can do this in keywords. So I did like sports, radio, TV, social media, and dude, you know what it is? Most of the jobs now are scams, is what I'm seeing.
Big time.
It's like there was a couple of jobs where I was like, oh, maybe I could do this, and then I looked, and the dude's name was like Ashwani Batwali, and he lives in fucking, and it's like, okay, you don't even live here. And he's like,
he goes by John.
Yeah.
He goes by John.
And he's recruiting for a recruiter who recruits for another recruiter. And it's like, this is bullshit. And then they're like, okay, you just got to log in and start. It was like, man, get the fuck out. This is ridiculous. This is not a job. This is a scam.
Well, you're absolutely right. And I think that the other thing that you find out real quick is who your real friends are. Because as long as you've been accessible and amicable to helping people, other people out, getting them jobs, helping them with stuff, then you're their best friend. And then the minute that something like this happens, you find out in short order who your real friends are and who first class users are. And this has just been like, when I left the Rockets, it was one thing. But, when you get in a situation like this and you worked like really closely with a lot of people, you find out that the people that you used to work for are more apt to have your back and try and do things for you than anybody you just recently worked with. And I mean anybody for the most part, if you know what I'm saying. So my old bosses at the Rockets, some of my best friends that have worked in Houston, they have been huge and they continue to be huge and supportive. And then there's the others that we can leave nameless, but boy, oh boy,
Yeah.
they disappear real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. You really find out who is in your corner and who is not when you lose a job. And more so when you're in the line of work that we're in, when you're, in the public eye and do what we do, you get a lot of people that, orbit around you because of what you do and who you are in the public eye, and not necessarily because they have your best interest in mind or whatever. And that was something that I didn't expect when I got let go. I was just like, oh, wow. Like Twitter numbers plummeted, like followers were bailing, and text. My phone used to stay busy. I was always getting texts from people that, wanted to help out or wanted to do. I don't hear from anybody anymore. You and I are that's it. Like I only talk to you, and that's it.
Now shout out to Nick,
crazy.
and Nick shouted out to both. Nick's reached out to both of us.
Yep.
But Nick's been good, and Nick's going through it too, because Nick in a different area of business is going through the same situation now, and he's looking.
Yep.
So, the three of us have stuck together through thick and thin and maintained, a really healthy friendship and great communication. And then you get others that you find out, like there were indications when you did things with, on air with people that, oh, this guy's going to have a persona to be this, kind of, top notch, first class, sometimes holier than thou. And then all of a sudden it's more, holy shit, you're not even close, because out of sight, out of mind. And then even more so, if it can help their own personal benefit, that you don't exist. And that's something that you just have to deal with, and you just kind of shake your head and you move on. And again, you learn from it, because like I said, it kind of does you a favor in a way, because it trims a lot of the fat of a lot of the people that you kind of probably had questions about overall anyway. And then it solidifies who your circle is and how tight that circle is with really good people who are willing to be there for you. And I think that's at least the cool part of all this.
Preach. Be honest that I worked for a company for 12 years, and I talked to one guy from that company today. Yeah. It's like,
wasn't Joe George.
What? There it is. There it is. Yes. Man, look, bigger and better things, right? On to bigger and better things for you, for me, for us, for all of that. For those of you that are watching this, that are diehard Usual Suspects fans, and there's a lot of you still around here on this show. And I've told this a little bit, but now that you're here, Joel and I have discussed putting a show together and getting the band back together, so to speak. Now, probably not with Nick. The logistics of that and everything else just makes it very, very difficult to pull off. But Joel and I have had some serious discussions, including a really long meeting about maybe we do the Usual Suspects again. Maybe we rekindle this romance, so to speak. So, nothing concrete, but the goal and the hope would be that we get this bad boy fired up and ready to go by the new year. Sometime in January.
For sure.
It'd be good to get something off the ground. So if you're a fan of ours, if you were a fan of our show, stay tuned and stick around, because that's could be coming in the works.
Let's also say this. We're going to do radio the right way. We're going to do it our way. We're not going to be told what to do, what to talk about, and who to have on the show or who we can't have on the show because they're terrified there might be profanity or some kind of sexual connotation to a discussion where they just can't do it.
Yeah.
But we're going to do it the right way. So that means, like, if you like Barry said, if you guys have been a suspect in the past, reach out to us, because in order to do it right, and do what we want to do, we'd kind of like to make it into something that's long lasting and kind of big enough to carry the load for us too, so to speak.
Yep.
So from sponsors to like following, that's what we're going to look to do between now and the start of the year, because I want to have Charles Barkley on. I want to have Vernon Maxwell on. I want to have, Cynthia Cooper and all the ones that I was, every time I brought it up, oh, we don't want that. Oh, we're not sure we want to do those interviews. Hey, guess what? I'm sure I want to do it with somebody else.
Yeah.
So now we have the chance to do it the right way, do it our way. And we never wanted the suspects to end in the first place. And COVID basically kicked us in the nuts. And now we have a chance. But the reason why we had the meeting you mentioned is because we want to do it the right way.
Yep.
So
1000%.
we want to hear from you.
Yeah, I do think it's wild, and it was wild that they would turn it down. I mean, when you and I were doing it, and then even after when you had other shows, it was like they would turn down huge names sometimes, and it's like, you're insane. Like, why would you do that? It just makes no sense to me. But everybody operates in their own way, so that's the cool thing is we'll get to do this the way we want to do it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll peel the curtain back to some degree, but you and I, as much as we've documented and lamented on the fact that we had our struggles early, we hated each other. We'll just cut to the chase.
Yep.
We had some knockdown dragouts. By the end of it, we systematically knew how to do a good show. And if you believed in something, then I believed in you. So I'm going to go with it. If I believed in something.
Yep.
And that's what made, and Nick was on board with it. And that's what made the show work. The thing that was crazy to me, and like I said, I'll peel back the curtain. At a certain point, I quit trying. I checked out because I was constantly getting rejections for the sake of doing things that I kind of felt like weren't going to work and I didn't feel confident in, but evidently my opinion didn't matter. So it was like, okay, from that degree, well, then you want the best of me, but what am I getting in return? I'm getting where you think you're smarter than me, better than me, and know more than me about how other stations or how you've done radio in the past. And quite frankly, I'm not going to sit there and drop the back of my baseball card on your desk. I'm not going to put that in the middle of your laptop and say, oh, by the way, this is who I've been, we've been, and what I've done. I don't think I should have to do that at this point in my life. So the fact that we kind of how many times, you can count, I can count, how many times on my way home from a show or on your way home from a show, we had a conversation about just across the board listening to radio going, how are we not doing what we were doing so well when all this was happening around us that isn't worth the pot to piss in?
Yep.
And finally, it was like, okay, look, if we're going to sit there and wait the rest of our lives for someone else to, hey, Joel Barry, we'd love to do this again, then it's up to us to do it again. And I guess what 97.5 did, because I believe that there's not another station involved now, pro tip, but regardless of what they were doing over there, we couldn't wait any longer. And because of what they did to me, now we didn't have to.
Yep. Nailed it. I love it. Articulated well, to the point, accurate.
I'm learning to talk in my free time.
Have you gotten any weird job offers? Have you had something where you're like, I'm not fucking doing that?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What's the
There's been plenty. I had several people just off of LinkedIn contact me and basically tell me that they were interested in hiring me. And then I'll give you two stories. One, they contact me and then they tell me, well, we're going to need a 2 to 5 year commitment from you. I was like, I didn't just get done with college. Like 2 to 5 year commitment. What are we talking about here? Well, we're going to start you with a really good salary, but we hope that you will develop and get your insurance license and your financial planning certificates, because we want you to have your own, we want to tap into all your contacts right away, because we understand that you have a lot of people you know. And then we expect that after a year with us, you should have up to 500 contacts. And for the next 4 years, you should be upping that number as you continue to add and hit your friends up to become full-time on board with us to do all their financial planning through us. And I'm like, yeah, no 5 years, no 500 contacts, no chance you're talking to anybody I know, and have a great day.
No, that's insane. And I mean,
And then the
look,
other one,
the salary is great and everything, but I'm not giving you my Rolodex and access to them like that. That's crazy. You don't get the relationships you have and then just hand them over to somebody and go, here you go. No, that is
okay, here you
that
go.
is sacred.
Just do what you want with it. Oh, if you want me to contact and set up the first meeting, let me get on for that for you. Sorry, folks, park's closed. Not going to do it. Okay.
Crazy.
And then the other one will, I'm going to leave. I actually like the guy, so I'm going to leave his name out of this. But again, you try and let people know, hey, this is what just happened. I'm cool. I'm looking for the next pivot to where I end up next. And if you want to help me, then let's go. And I get an ex-athlete to hit me up and say, and their personal assistant calls me and said, so-and-so is extremely interested in talking to you and would like to know what you're thinking for your next step so that we can have a discussion. We need to set up a Zoom chat immediately. I was like, hey, okay, cool. So I do some research. I actually throw on the shirt, tie, and jacket. I'm thinking, hey, guess what? At least from the waist up on a Zoom chat, I'm going to look like I used to look when I worked for the Rockets, and I'm going to go see what could possibly be and how quickly I could turn this thing around. It took all of about 60 seconds to turn that Zoom chat into, so do you have a financial planner? And how good is he and how much do you like him? Because I'm really thinking that I could be the guy that could step in right here, right now, if you got rid of him and went with me, where we could work on how to kind of take care of your money while you're dealing with your next job opportunity. So time out. You're not here in any way, shape, or form to help me try and find out where I go next. You're looking to swoop in, bump my guy of like 20 plus years out of the way so that you might be able to profit on my misfortune of losing my job, and then wants to BS for another 30 minutes. I tell you what, it was the closest I've ever been to breaking my laptop when I got done. I was like, that is the biggest kick in the nuts waste of my time that I have ever been through. And oh, by the way, I gave you broadcasting opportunities. I helped you build a side business. I was like, okay. For a couple days then, I was done. I was like, you know what? Maybe I just need to take a break for a few.
God bless that. That's first of all, that's crazy. Not shocking or surprising, but just crazy that people still operate like that in 2025. But it's weird because at least you have some, like, bro, I didn't hear from nobody. Like, I didn't get, fucking nothing, no calls, to this day, I think I've had one job interview since May of 2020. One.
That's unbelievable.
It is crazy.
But again, Barry, when they say you got to hit your contacts,
now
they could not. All the people could. You can't go through internet websites and expect to get a job. You just can't.
Yeah, and that's partly what. But I mean, there were a few times when openings would come up in the market, and I would, I'm not the guy that likes to ask for favors from the people that I know.
Agreed.
Because it feels icky. You know what I mean? I never do anything with the motivation of, I'm going to get this person to do me this favor, or they're going to owe me this, or whatever. That's just not my mindset.
Bro, you know how I was working for the Rockets. My whole life was taking care of others. Oh, you need tickets. Oh, you need an autograph this. Oh, you want to meet this player. I was constantly doing for others.
Yep.
It felt dirty to ask for anything in return, no matter how much I had done for others. But at a certain point, I was told by a recruiter, if you don't say these words this way, I need your help, and I need you to help me in this situation, and I got to see what you can do. They're right.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, they are, but it's still like, I don't know. So I reached out to like a couple of times. I found out there were some openings on different stations, not even sports talk, but I was like, it's radio. I can talk. I mean, it's not that fucking hard. And man, one guy was like, oh, after the job was filled, he reached back out. He was like, oh, I just saw this message. I'm like, you are such a fucking liar.
I
know
hate
how
that.
technology works. There ain't no way you just saw this message when they announced this hiring. And then, other people, they were like, yeah, I can get you connected. And then it really wasn't. You know what I mean? It was just kind of the runaround and bullshit. And I was just like, well, I don't care. I'm just do my own fucking thing. Like at some point you just have to be like, I'm going to do it myself, or I'll just find it myself. But that's an uphill battle. But I guess it depends too who your friends are, who your real friends are.
Oh, no doubt.
Like you were saying, So,
Well, like you go back to it. I heard from almost everybody in the market on other shows, on other stations, on TV stations, because again, those are the people with the solid foundational friendships built where I really appreciated that because they didn't have to do that, especially if they were on competing radio stations.
yeah.
But it also tells you as much about who you didn't hear from, hot mic in a commercial or not, that you go, you know what? I kind of already knew, but thanks for making it crystal clear.
Yeah.
And then you say, okay, well now I pivot to the people that I do know to say, okay, it's two things. You have to be able to say, I need a favor, I need your help, and then go from there. And literally you will get more traction than any website that's out there, no matter how good you think it is. And short of getting a recruiter, that's what you got to do. And that's the toughest thing to kind of suck it up and realize.
I mean, and there are a lot of deckheads in the chat right now that are saying, man, I haven't had a job. Ivan is saying it. Several people, Mark G has gone through it. But there are a lot of deckheads that are, in a similar situation. And just because we do what we do doesn't mean we're immune. We're human beings too. You know what I mean? We can be without a job like everybody else. I mean, that's just, at the end of the day, we just
the
have to
holidays.
talk into a mic.
It's the holidays. It's the end of the year. It's the end of budgets. The harsh reality is nothing's going to change till January anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But that got me even more focused on, hey, why don't we focus on doing what everybody seems to want? Because I'm doing these point blanks and these videos every couple of days and trying to stay relevant that way and getting a lot of positive feedback and a lot of views. But in the process, the comments are, you guys need to get the suspects back. You need to start doing some podcasts. You need to do shows. And it was like, okay. And I told you this, I mentioned it at the gym the other day. I had 4 different people say, I'll sponsor you right now. I will sponsor you, not just follow you or subscribe to you. I will sponsor you. And a buddy of mine that I play basketball with said to me, hey, if you could get 20, and I know that's a grandiose number, but if you could get 20 sponsors, you guys can do whatever the hell you want for as long as you sign those sponsors. And I started thinking, man, that's a big number. And you and I talked about it. And all of a sudden, I go to the gym, and within 15 minutes, I got 4 people that saying, I'm offering you money because I want you back on the radio, or on the air. I'm like, I called you immediately. I go, this has to happen. We have to take this shot because it seems like it's doable. Yeah. And a lot of the listeners know people or work for people that could probably do the same thing.
Yeah. That's why, I like that we had the talk. We've already got a straw man of things we can do and should do and will do to make it happen. But yeah, it's a direction that I think has been a long time coming. That's for sure.
Well, let's also, on the flip side, if we're just going to get industry talk that you and I both know, broadcasting's in a really bad spot. Mm-hmm. And you saw what happened at 790 to Salisbury after what happened to Paul and I. No one wants to hear Rich Eisen for 3 hours in Houston, Texas. But in Houston, Texas, if you have choices or you can't get that signal consistently, then you're going to try and find some place where you can find a signal that's talking about your home teams. Yeah. But you also now are looking at being at the discretion of bigger conglomerations and businesses than just the Houston market that are saying, we don't have the money anymore to pay the exorbitant, let's be real, the exorbitant salaries we've been paying for far too long for people that we just suddenly can't afford to pay. And you're like, wow, this is where the market's at?
Yeah, and this is the thing. And I would never wish that anybody lose their job or anything
Absolutely.
like that. But from a business perspective, if you just think about it, when you look at I mean, just our situation, for example, we had the number one show in not just at the station, but in the city at various points in time during our tenure. And they never took advantage of that. They never sold us. They really never believed in us beyond the fact that we just had a slot. You know what I mean? It was easier to sell.
Well, they had the former number one show, which, let's be honest, wasn't too pleased that they had the number one show leading into them.
Yeah.
That they were focused on renewing and selling instead of trying to newly capitalize on a show that was doing better.
Yeah. 100%. And the salespeople were notorious for, well, it's just easier to sell the morning show. It's easier to sell the drive time shows. And that's true. But what's silly to me from a business perspective, and this is just me talking out loud as you were saying what you were saying, if you have radio as a medium as a whole has been shrinking because podcasts have, in two forms, really, audio podcasts and video podcasts / live streaming have kind of overtaken it in many ways. Right? People get in the car, they don't immediately think to turn the radio on. They get their phone, they plug it in, they pull up a podcast or some music, and off they go for the most part.
True.
And that's where I think it's like, wow, so you don't adjust like, okay, we can't pay you heyday in radio money. Like this is no longer that time. So we're going to, we're just going to fire some people that don't make a lot that happen to have the number one show so that we can continue to pay all this other talent. And I don't know why I did air quotes, but,
because there's some people that aren't talented out there. Let's just be honest.
They earned during the heyday, but it's just not that anymore. And it was just wild.
No, it's not.
And look, it wasn't just at our station. We, like you just said, we saw this with Salisbury. This is across the board, across the country. This is still happening in radio where the people that carry the name and have, that salary comes with it, but they're not pulling the ratings like they used to. It's just impossible.
No, and Barry, this is a conversation you and I have had numerous times off the air. And that is, it used to be that every time someone got in their car, they were at the discretion of 3 radio stations in town in Houston, Texas, if I wanted to listen to sports. Now they have 3,000 different options with podcasts, with the ability to go online and Bluetooth it through my car. And you know what? My wife deals with the same thing with TV. It used to be appointment TV was morning news, 5, 6, and 10 news. Now news is 24/7, 365 at my fingertips with my phone, with my tablet, with my laptop, and I don't need you anymore at those times. Ratings go down, so do sales, and you aren't seeing the proper pivot from a business perspective to kind of maintain the kind of financial flexibility and success that stations have just had basically fall into their lap for years.
Everything evolves, including radio, including the different mediums to reach people, whether it be, before it was just radio and then TV came around and radio was like, oh shit, well, we're not the only player on the block. And then there was, the movies and the movie industry thought that they had it all sewed up. Along comes a little company called Netflix. I think the head of Warner Brothers was like, I'm not worried about Netflix. That's ridiculous. So like they're going to overtake anybody mailing DVDs to people. And now they just bought Warner Brothers because they got so
for like
evolves
ridiculously billions of dollars.
Yeah. And then they're going to raise prices, but shit evolves and you have to evolve with it or become extinct. And that's unfortunately what I think is happening to a lot of radio. And they're being stubborn and like, nope, this is what we do. This is how we do it. I mean, okay, but you're going to end up like a lot of these cable companies, the movie theaters, and a lot of other newspapers.
Oh, gone. And now they're charging you to read the newspaper because you have to do it on your computer. You can get to their site for free, but you can't get to their content unless you pay them. And again, someone was saying, a buddy of mine was saying this to me at the gym today. We're going to get to a point real soon with the new deal the NBA cut with what we're seeing already with the NFL selling out and making you buy games on Thursday nights and on holidays, that in short order, you are going to be reaching into your pocket the same way you go for movies and for music. And you are going to take all of the luxuries you've had and taken for granted forever in free sports on TV, and you are going to have to pay for everything.
Yep. That's it. I mean, we are, look, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it, but Space City Home Network just dropped their app. Well, the app was out for a bit, but you had to have a provider in order to use it. But now you don't. You can just pay $20 a month for your Rockets and Astros games. And you know, they have other programming, but I don't know that anybody gives a shit about any of the other programming. They just have to fill that space anyways.
You don't want to see Babe Winkleman's Fishing Hour followed by
What?
Poker Talk?
What?
Come on.
And a repeat of Rockets All Access 85 times a day? What?
I love Vanessa, but you know, it's on a lot.
It's like, you know, but they're evolving. They're like, well, you look, you know, at least they see the fact that, well, this is where things are going. And here's the thing, like, I was bitching the other day about how expensive streaming is right now. It's ridiculous. It's crazy, all those things. But I am smart enough to remember the tale of Adam Smith and the invisible hand of the market. And that is a marketing thing from college. And the market will fix itself. The market will correct itself. There's this invisible hand that adjusts the market. And eventually, those people will just stop paying. People will just stop using it if you price yourself out. So I think that's what we're going to see eventually. We have to get there. But I personally, right now, I love the fact that I can get Space City Home Network by itself. I'm not tied to Fubo or DirecTV.
And the big thing with that is the Space City Home Network kind of took the negotiating power back a little bit. They were always kind of stuck in the middle between two overly greedy owners that wanted total control, total programming control, total inventory control, wanted the networks to pay them, exorbitant amounts of money per year as a rights fee, and then said, hey, try and stay afloat, stay in business, and make some money, which is why we see all the poker and fishing shows, because they were cheap. They could throw them on every network across their system, and they could at least escape trying to have to pay for even more programming after the teams. Once the two owners bought the network here, they realized we're cannibalizing ourselves if we expect the network to give us $100 million in rights fees and then say, oh, by the way, go make us a profit too.
Yeah.
So and then you're also at the mercy of every system and every company that says, oh, you want us to carry your games, pay us. And we're going to make the consumer pay on top of what they're paying just to get our network the same way. And so they kind of took the force back and said, now we've got ownership behind us. They understand we can't afford to pay them and then go out. And our biggest concern is how many people can we get to have access that are being denied right now or paying too much. And this was a genius way to get the ball rolling to say, hey, look, the one thing you don't want to lose is diehard Astro and Rockets fans that have been that for life that go, guess what? I'll go find some other game to watch some other place than having to fight tooth and nail and open up my pocketbook so wide there's nothing left in it just so that you can make more money.
And you know what? There's another reality to that too, though, and you're spot on with that. But also, that's when people started looking for bootleg options. I mean, let's be real. You can pretend like that doesn't exist, but when I said fuck Fubo because I can't get NBC or any of their products, and now I can't watch Sunday Night Football, and that was going on for 2+ weeks, people were like, bootleg that shit, bro. It's free and easy. Here's how you do it. And it was like 2 seconds. You don't even used to. You had to get like a rooted Fire Stick and all this crazy shit, and you didn't know if it was malware. Bro,
God love you, Nick Sharara.
So easy now. You don't even need to root your Fire Stick anymore. You can literally install it. A friend of mine told me that.
Did I say that out loud? God love you, Nick Sharara from back in the day.
You can install this shit just directly on a TV now, on smart TVs. Like if you have a Fire TV or like a Google Play TV, bro, it's so easy. It's
Did you
crazy.
Just say you have to root your Fire Stick?
That's not a euphemism, Joel.
Are you okay? I'm just checking. Um,
It's not a
but it really
euphemism.
is.
Well, it
But
could be
that's the
though.
thing. Like you hit on it. It's become easier and easier to not pay, as
Yep.
opposed to how you had to get the Fire Stick and then get a new one every so often, or figure out the new way to beat the system. Now it's basically right there for you, literally at your fingertips, to where you just go, "Hey, look, we're gonna do it. Yeah, I hear it's illegal, but guess what? I'm gonna see it and enjoy it a whole hell of a lot more until someone tries to stop me. Which good luck stopping me when you got to stop everybody else doing it, as opposed to me paying a couple of $100 just to get you way over the top."
Yep. Yep. People revolt, man, and they do it many different ways. Look, the music industry saw this with Napster, right?
Oh,
So
big time. Yep.
remember, music started becoming digital, and people were like, "You buy CDs." The music industry just never got away from CDs. They were just, "You got to buy CDs. You got to buy CDs." And people were like, "I don't want to pay $17.99 for one song. Fuck you." And they would upload one song to Napster, and you could go download it for free because that's all you wanted was that fucking one song. And then they were like, "Oh, maybe we should charge 99 cents on Apple Music for shit, and they can just buy the song." Well, fucking duh. It took a long time. And now,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the whole Napster era has died. Most people don't bootleg their music anymore because you can afford to buy what you want or just pay a service and get your music that way. And so the music industry, to their credit, evolved significantly. But man, TV and radio are slow as fuck, and they're gonna have to catch up because
Well, the NBA is
it's
lucking
only gonna
out
get
now, and
worse
they're
for them.
trying to browbeat you with the fact that ratings have been good early. What's going to suck is when the Peacock doubleheader that you can't get anywhere on free TV is going to be two games that matter, and people aren't going to sit there and say, "Oh, this is great, this is genius, this is fun." This is, why are you taking a game that I used to get for free on TNT, putting it on Peacock to try and get you even more money, and you say you want more fans and you want your fan base to get back to where it was, which is competitive with everything short of NFL diehards and beating the other leagues. You can't have it both ways. You can't stuff your owner's pockets and say, "Look what we did to make more money for a league," and then go, "Oh, by the way, our fans are our first priority, but screw you, pay us beside what you pay for tickets during the year when you go to games, pay a whole hell of a lot more to see less of our games." It's not going to work big time when those games matter.
Nope, it is not. All right, listen, I know you're gonna have to get out of here in just a second. So before you go, though, I do want to talk a little bit of sports. I do want to talk a little bit of Rockets specifically.
Sure.
I have been in on this team the whole season. Usually, you know me, I don't watch basketball until Christmas. But I was like, you know what? With the addition of Kevin Durant, I kind of just wanted to see what would happen. I didn't have any expectations going in about this team being as good as they are. But I was like, I just want to see what this experiment looks like. This was a big change for this organization. How do you assess what they've done so far? One. And two, do they, and it's all relative because Oklahoma City is just fucking ridiculous. But is this team a real threat in the West as
Oh, I
constructed?
definitely think so. Oh, there's no doubt about it. Because here's the thing. There's a couple of things. Let's just address real quick OKC, because no one really wants to hear about it. The start's been phenomenal, but at the same time, the Warriors set the record for the best regular season in the history of the league. Did they win the championship that year? No. So, good on you if you come out of the gates 25-1. Good on you if you win the ridiculously stupid means nothing midseason tournament. But you have to win the title to validate it. And that's what the Rockets learned that the Warriors weren't able to learn when they both got out to these crazy good starts. From a Rockets perspective, what you have to think about is the fact that this team still isn't as good as it can be because Dorian Finney-Smith hasn't played a game for them. And they spent a lot of money to get a guy that's going to be another lockdown defender and knockdown three-point shooter that's going to give them even more depth than one of the deepest teams in the league, not named Oklahoma City. So I said on a show that I used to participate on when allowed, and when I was able to speak basketball when it was okay, I said, don't expect this team to be as good regular season as they were a year ago while they figure everything out and get healthy. but expect this team to go deeper than they did a year ago when they were bumped by a team that they were better than in the Warriors, because they are deeper, because they will be more rested, because they have more options that are going to get them buckets and get stops, and because that they are going to be a more complete team. I said over and over
and they
again,
have a
and
closer.
I said, you were going exactly where I was going to go, and I love you for that, because you actually get me. But I said over and over again, I don't hate Jalen Green. I hate him on the Rockets because it's a bad fit for a guy that's trying to make a name for himself, and that's more important than making a name for this team again as a championship contender. And what did I say over and over again? For 3.5 quarters, this team was one of the best teams in basketball. And in the fourth quarter, in crunch time, when it mattered most, they did the least. They couldn't finish games, and it all started with your supposed best player. But you bring in the Mariano Rivera of the NBA right now in closers, other than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and maybe the Joker. But this is an all-timer. And you wonder, well, how much does he have left? He doesn't have to have as much as he had to have in the past because he's got such a deep, young nucleus of talent. And Şengün has gotten so good that this team isn't even close to being where – I said this team isn't what they were a year ago, and everybody lost their mind. Are you kidding me? This team – I go, but what did I say? I said this team isn't last year's team. It's better. And it's not – it doesn't matter if it's better in the regular season. All that matters is come playoff time, you now have two guys that you can go to at any given time. And what is the other thing that this team's been lacking? Outside shooting. Now you've got guys that just put their feet on the 3-point line. And oh, by the way, Israel, I wish I was still on the air just to hammer your ass for saying how worthless and washed up and bad Reed Shepherd is. He's not a point guard, but he's one of the better 3-point shooters in this league if you just tell him to stay behind the line, wait for the ball, and let it go. Because you've got Dorian Finney-Smith. You've got Reed Shepherd. You've got so many guys now that can sit behind the line and just free stroke from three, and you will become a better team again. This team's better defensively. It's better with its closers. It's better depth-wise. To me, the Denver Nuggets and the Houston Rockets are the only legitimate chance to dethrone the Oklahoma City Thunder in the West. Lakers, okay. Luka's unbelievable. I just don't know about the rest of the pieces. And LeBron, let's face it, he doesn't have the lift he once had. If I see SportsCenter show me in a game the Lakers lost 18 different angles of LeBron finally getting it over the rim and jamming it on somebody, yay them. But in terms of basketball acumen, I would say that the Nuggets and the Rockets are the only chance that we have someone other than the OKC not only winning the West, but probably winning it all, because the East, unless there's some big trades, the East is just a shit show.
Yeah. B. Hannon said Spurs, question mark. Look, I don't know about you, and I'm going to let you have the last word on this, but I think the Spurs are just too young. It's not that they're not good. They're just too young right now. They just need more seasoning. Like what the Rockets went through last year, that's seasoning. That prepares you for a deeper run. Spurs just need to get that first before they become contenders, in my opinion. And Wemby has to stay healthy.
And he's not, and he hasn't been. And that's been a big thing, because when he was on the floor early in the season, he looked like he had done some serious work in the offseason. But the bigger thing that you have to keep in mind is watch Giannis and watch his body. And I know you can have a field day with that.
I love his body. His body is...
The first 3 years, this was Giannis Antetokounmpo, the first 3 years in the league.
That just his penis, or is that his whole body?
So
what am I looking at?
So all of a sudden, he got shoulders and arms and stronger, and he became
glutes,
an immovable, impossible to stop force.
That's true.
And you're right. They've got Castle. They've got young guys that are going to get better and better. I think they're a year or two away, and also because he's been off the floor so much early in the season, Wemby, that could have set them up for even more success this year. They're going to be good this year. They're going to be a playoff team this year. But in the next couple years, that's why the Rockets have to win in this window when they have KD still at KD's highest level where he's currently at. Because in the next couple years, KD's, let's just face it, he's going to diminish a little bit each year. Wemby's going to get better. They're going to put more pieces around him, and now you're going to have your hands full. So I think it's of the two teams, the Rockets have a better chance than the Spurs this year. But that rivalry is going to heat up real quick, real soon for the next couple of years because they're not going anywhere.
Because pretty soon KD is going to be sitting out for the same reasons LeBron is. What was it? Joint arthritis and sciatica. I was like, that is the oldest fucking injury report I've ever heard in my whole life. Somebody missed a game because of joint arthritis and sciatica. I was like, put his old ass out to pasture. That is crazy. That's some old people
My
shit.
feelings are still hurt for the fact that the Lakers told me I'm not the end-all be-all man anymore. Luka is. And that I'm not going to get treated the way I once got treated. And me and Rich Paul are going to take our ball and go home until I feel like I've made a statement. And then, oh, by the way, I'll come back and play. But I don't have any lift in my jump shot.
At all. Dude, this was fun.
Oh,
I know you got to go. I appreciate you stopping in, giving the people what they want. I look forward to a lot more of this going forward.
Anytime, brother.
Yeah, we got to get you on more than just once every now and then. You've got
Next
some
week,
time.
we'll
I've
figure it
got
out
some
next week
time.
when. Yeah, I gotta go get yet another adopted dog out of a bad situation at the groomer, and then pick up my kids. But next week, whenever, we're good.
Let's do it again. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's Joe Blank joining us right here on Barry on Deck. Look forward to more of that. Appreciate you, homie. Thank you so much, man. That is Joe Blank, everybody. Not said these two make my day. Well, appreciate that. I said not caught. I appreciate that. I like that Mark is like, yo, I have sciatica. Are you saying I'm old? Yes, bitch, you old. Anybody with sciatica, if you miss anything because of sciatica or joint arthritis, you're old as fuck. That's it. And like, bro, I almost missed a show because of sciatica. That's just old. That's just old people shit. Let's see. Terrence said I'm old. Donna said not true. What's not true? Joint arthritis and sciatica? That is true. That's old people shit. Let's see. Thank you, Total Dallas. For those of you, LeBron's gonna miss a game because of his gout. That would not surprise me. That would not surprise me at all. Gout is flaring up. Yep. Dubs too. I'm not old. I'm a young 42. You're old as fuck. Look at your photo, bro. Look at your photo. You look like you still sell Cutco knives door to door in that picture. I know you were feeling yourself too, Ivan. Let me not fuck with you. You just came back to the show. Let me leave you alone. You look amazing in your Cutco outfit, Ivan. You look fantastic. Don't show up on my doorstep though. Come talking about, hey, you need some knives? No, the fuck I don't. Potch said, shit, I got fucking shingles when I was 32. What? Is that even possible? I didn't even know you could get shingles at 32. That's crazy. I was like, but for real, you want some knives, player? Listen, that's just not gonna cut it. Okay. I don't know who's the producer, but I don't appreciate that. Don't you? Fucking Dre got shingles in high school? No, you didn't. No, the fuck you didn't get shingles in high school. That was herpes, bro. You don't get shingles on your dick. Okay? Wrong area. One time though, for real, oh, my back itches so bad. That's how I know I'm old too, by the way. I can't reach my back anymore to scratch. I'm working on this bit. Like, the oldest shit I've ever done in my whole life was buy a back scratcher. That's true. That is the oldest. Oh, look, I'm going to scratch my back with my. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But that is the oldest shit I've ever done was buy a back scratcher because I can't reach my back no more. I got bad shoulders and all that shit. It is just Jesus Christ. I got a back scratcher in every room in the house. Yeah, it's called the corner of the wall. I have one in my nightstand. It's just, that's why. Dre, did you mean I roofed a house in high school? That's funny. Shingles comes from chicken pox. Yes, thank you, Dr. Jet. Yes. But you can't get, I got minor shingles on the back end of COVID. Ugh. but I got the vaccine now. Yeah, that's what I need to do is go get the vaccine for the shingles. My sister got arthritis at 19 from a fractured heel. It didn't heal correctly. Damn. That sucks. You can get shingles anytime after you had chickenpox. Yeah, that's true. But they tell you it usually doesn't happen until after 50. So like at 51 now, they're telling me I need to go get my shingles shot or my, cootie shot or whatever the fuck it is. How the fuck you get shingles at 16, bro? Sick. I'm telling you, man. What you needed penicillin. I did one time though when I was a kid. I had impetigo, which is it's like a skin disease. But man, I had that shit everywhere. I had it in my eyes. I had it in my dick hole. Like I had it everywhere. I had it on the rim of my butthole. Everything itched. Oh my God. You don't fuck with that impetigo. Oh my God. That shit was the worst. Bar none, that was the worst. I hated life. That shit itched so bad. Now, I have had the chicken pox also. You get Valtrex for shingles. Yeah. Dub said that's a Civil War disease. Kiss my ass. That is not a Civil War disease, Dubs. You raggedy bitch. That's not a Civil War disease. That's a kid's disease. Most kids get impetigo, you jackass. Civil War disease. Damn. Cece said, I was a virgin, so shut up. Shingles at 13 and sweater weather. John Dorier said, did Drake get it from Pookie? I'm loving all this chat on chat violence right now. This is fantastic. I'm here for this shit. That's hilarious. You guys are just can't stop fucking with each other. I am here for it. All right. Okay, that's kind of weird. Oh, let me just move this. Something has happened. All right, so here's the deal. Here's the dealio. I'm gonna have to do the pick 'em later. All right. I know you don't want to hear that. I don't care. Pick 'em is motherfucker. Why is this doing this? This is driving me crazy. Oh my goodness. I still don't know why this has done this, but whatever. All right, so so I'm gonna have to do the fantasy at after the show. All right, so I will get it done after the show, promise. And I'll post it on the Discord, Patreon, and wherever else you need me to post it. Okay. But it's just not working right now. So it's just, we're going to have to fucking deal with it. All right. What is this? So I don't know why this isn't showing the camera, but I'm just going to say, hey, shout out to Donna and Sylvia. Oh, that's why it came up as a video. That's weird. Donna, Sylvia, thank you so much for continuing to support the show. Thank you for your Thankful Thursdays. You are the best. I appreciate you guys so very much. I love you. Much love to you for continuing to support the show. Make sure that we can keep doing what we do. Love you guys. Thank you. All right. Now, we're about to wrap this shit up for the week. Really didn't get into a lot of sports. I'm glad we got into it with Joel with the Rockets a bit. Are you guys still talking about fucking shingles? You old bitches, get over it. An old boss of mine was a large man, both height and stature, 6'7", and would go bear mode on wall corners to scratch his back. Yeah, that's what you do. That's what you do. Like, that's why you put corners. Like, when we had this house built, I fucked up. I got rounded corners put in. Why did I do that? I did not anticipate at 51 that I would have the itchiest goddamn back in the world. I don't know why that is. It's the same thing, like, you ever notice that you don't notice parts of your body until you hurt it? Have you ever noticed that? Like, I didn't realize how much we use our pinky toe until I fucked my pinky toe up. And then you're like, oh my God, this is the most important bone in my body. Like, I have to have this pinky toe. This is crazy. Oh, Joe Pro. Yes, we can do that. I will certainly do that. Thank you for the 3 biddies. Go outside to the brick, make that shit bleed. Ooh, the brick would be good. Yeah, we didn't talk about the Texans a whole lot this week because of extenuating circumstances. Barry, that's hives. It's not hives. I'm itchy. Okay? Old people itch. That's what we do. Itches be tripping. Back scratchers are cheap and easy, like Total Dallas. Jesus, man. Total Dallas. You ever notice that it's Andy Rooney? Yeah. All right. Look, here's my thoughts on the Texans' victory this past Sunday. Cool. But, I mean, look. I've said it all year. I'm going to keep saying it. That offense does not deserve that defense. Now, I will credit where credit is due. The first half of that game, I thought CJ Stroud made some pretty spectacular plays. Problem was the second half was atrocious. And here's the idiocy of this fan base here in Houston is people were literally in the second half being like, I want to see Davis Mills, and I'm not even kidding. Man, go sit your dumb ass down. Go sit your dumb ass down. You do not want to see Davis Mills. That Chiefs defense is one of the best in all of football. Of the world, Craig. They struggled. They did enough to win, but they struggled. And occasionally, against a really good defense, that's going to happen. In fact, let's look it up. Defensive points allowed per game. Kansas City's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th in the league at 19.4. They're the last team on the list to not allow 20 points a game. They're ahead of San Francisco, ahead of Philly, ahead of that Chargers defense. I mean, that's a good defense. Really good defense. And oh, by the way, the Texans offense regressed. That offensive line regressed pretty significantly in this game. The game before when CJ played, they were looking better, but they regressed a little bit. It's going to happen from time to time. It's not perfect. It's not a perfect line. The one thing that I do think is you probably still need to see CJ not just more comfortable in the pocket, but he's going to have to figure out. Look, sometimes, man, I get you want to get out and run and don't want to take a sack because you take a lot of sacks. But you start to develop bad tendencies. And it's partly his fault. It's partly the O-line's fault. You don't want to see him kind of go back to those tendencies just because he faced a really good pass rush in KC. Ponch said, yeah, this year KC offense not getting the lucky breaks that they have been getting the last few years. Yeah, and what's amazing to me, Poch, in that regard, if you can believe this, I literally, Linda, listen. I literally saw people on social media bitching about the referees, Chiefs fans. They were like, oh, typical. They're always against the Chiefs. What the fuck are you talking about? Every meme ever made in the NFL over the past decade has been the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, and the head referee exchanging jerseys after the game. Like, what are you talking about? It is asinine that a Chiefs fan would think that the league and the refs are out to get them. You're crazy. As a Bears fan, you had me worried. About what? Oh, can we, maybe we can pull a Bears Rex Grossman Super Bowl appearance with our defense. That's what it's going to be. Part of the problem is run game. Joe Mixon really mattered. Like, he really, really mattered. Well, Woody Marks is decently good for a rookie. I'm excited. I think he's going to get better. Nick Chubb is serviceable, but you don't have a premier running back. You don't have a good O-line. At their best, they're slightly above average, which is fine. You can get by with that, especially with this defense. But if this team had a run game, like a legitimate threat in the run game, I think it would be a little bit of a different story. But they don't, and they won't this year, so you just deal with it and move on. I do think this team can and will make the playoffs. I do believe that. I think that they have figured it out. And look, that is saying something. That is really saying something if this team makes the playoffs. Because that's, from where they were to where they are, pretty phenomenal. Also, this team last year was allowing almost 22 points a game, 21.9. This year, they're allowing 16. Look what they just did back-to-back to the Bills and the Chiefs. Pretty remarkable, this defense. Pretty special. Pretty good. Shout out Nick Sharara for always doing that on The Usual Suspects. I thought I had that as a drop. I thought I did. I guess I don't. I always like to play this one and freak people out because then they're like, what the fuck? Some people are like, oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. If you don't know what that is, good for you. You're a good Christian. For the rest of you that immediately recognize that, you're disgusting. You are fucking disgusting. Oh, you see, my sweet, sweet Donna was like, what the heck is that? Don't look now, but Miami is still hanging in there. Oh, that's cute, heartthrob, that you think Miami's going to do something. That's cute. Look at you. Guys, I fall somewhere in the middle. Oh, I don't know what that means. Heartthrob, the Dolphins are 6-7. I know they've won 4 in a row. They got so many people to leapfrog for the 7th playoff spot, including Houston. They're 6-7. They've still got to get past the Chiefs, the Ravens, and Indy. A Phillip Rivers-led Indy. And then either surpass right now Houston or, which is 8-5, but also Buffalo and the Chargers. It ain't happening. Mark said, I'm not a Christian and I have no idea what that was. I'm excited for a Bears first round exit. I'll tell you what, 6-7. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, here we go. Yeah. I don't even know the whole story behind 6-7. I know that it's some hip hop bullshit. And they asked the dude, what does it mean? He was like, nothing. I just made it up. Really, it's this whole social phenomenon that you just fucking 6-7. What the fuck? I got kids in there. Jesus, they don't stop. If a quarterback in the NFL was smart, that would be his signal call. Yeah, because you know how you hear like green 18. Nah, I'd be like blue 6-7. Yeah, here we go. Like, I would have that shit. I would have that shit on lock. Definitely. Oh, my goodness gracious. Ladies and gentlemen, I feel like I need like special effects, like zooming in and going crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll just do it manually. Ladies and gentlemen, holy shit. Okay, I'm exhausted. Welcome in, Raiders. Thank you so much for being here. My guy, USN TV, they never, ever fail to impress and be amazing. Thank you so much for the raid. Nice. You are amazing, sir. It is going good. We were just talking some NFL and talking about, well, we have a Dolphins fan in the chat that was like, well, the Dolphins are making a run. That's cute. Welcome in, Raiders. By the way, this is Barry on Deck. I'm your host, Barry Laminack. This is a sports talk and entertainment show. We do this Monday through Thursday, 3 to 5 p.m. Central Time, right here in this very location. Couple of rules for you guys coming in on the raid, okay? Just so you know, we do have a few show rules, all right? Bathrooms are down the hall on the left. The kitchen is on the right. If your name is not on the food in the fridge, don't fucking eat it, all right? And leave Donna's beer alone. No whores after 9. Don't do cocaine in the bathroom. There you go. That's all the rules that I have for the show. Don't be a dick in the chat. Whatever. Okay. But welcome in, man. Thank you guys for being here. USA, thank you for the raid, brother. Just won the Military Bowl with SMU. Life is good. Bro, I used to love to do that. Now, I admit, my PlayStation, I don't even know what the fuck I did with it. But I haven't played it in forever. But I used to play college football constantly, right? And one of my favorite things to do was to take a program like Rice or, I don't know, just a small little podunk ass school and go win a natty with them. And now I will admit, I never played like a super difficult, but my favorite part of the game was recruiting. And all I would do is recruit option quarterbacks. Oh my God. Are you shitting me? Option quarterbacks was the way. I don't know about the game now, but back then, oh Lord. Get you a speed 97 with a quarterback. Jesus, son. You can't beat that. Halfback off tackle. Hail Mary. That was it. That was all I fucking did the whole time. It's ridiculous. Joe Pro, thank you for the 3 biddies. Oh, we got a hype train going? Son of a bitch, would you look at that? Jet, thank you for resubscribing for 12 months, girl. By the way, thank you to all these follows. Spider-Man 9, Major Mom Moist. Okay, I see what you did. Unk Maze Blue 83. Oof. Look, gotta not be feeling well about your Michigan Wolverines right now. Big scandal. Tell me if I'm wrong, Maze. Unk Maze, tell me if I'm wrong, but I said this yesterday on the show. If they really wanted to keep him, they would have. This was an excuse to get out of his contract. What say you, Michigan fan? I just felt like that was an easy out. It's like, oh, you was bopping that skank hoe? You gotta go, bro. You out. But if he was like one loss in the playoff, they'd have been like, look, man, just keep that shit to yourself. Don't say shit. We won't say shit. Go win that natty. Okay. All right. We'll see you later. But when you've lost as much as he's lost, it's like, hey, man, get out. And we ain't paying you. What up, Big Scout? Good to see you, pimp. If he beat Ohio State, he would still have a job. I mean, look, he did win 2 out of 3. Oh, he went to jail? Oh, damn. I didn't know that. Since when is getting trim a crime? Big Stout said that shit like a 65-year-old uncle and shit. I'll tell you what, though. Back in my day, you could get a little trim. That is not a crime. It's crazy. My cats won't shut the fuck up. Jen, thank you for the gifted sub to Mr. Christian Gary. Also, what's up to Pizzle07? Thank you for the follow. Trent Adams and Maple Cow. I don't even know what that is. Yeah, I didn't see that he went to jail. Was it assault on the person that he was, was that it? More expected in court on Friday, remains in custody. Now, let's see. Michigan coach remains in custody of suspected alleged assault. Expected to be in court. Washtenaw County prosecutors decision. Authorities have yet to release details other than say that he remains under investigation. Man, so many things running through my head right now. Like, what did he do? Right? Like, they arrested him after he got fired, which is crazy. But they must have found out that this was coming. Or, and I don't know, he was like hanging out and somebody was talking shit to him. Oh, here we go. Pittsfield Police released a statement Wednesday night saying they responded at 4 p.m. to the 3000 block of Ann Arbor Saline Road for the purpose of investigating an alleged assault. A suspect in this case was taken into custody. Incident does not appear to be random in nature, and there appears to be no ongoing threat to the community. Wow. Initially detained by police, turned over in Pittsfield. This is crazy. Yeah, inappropriate relationship with a staff member. Is that who he beat up? Or see, because I'm just like, okay, was this somebody that was just like, hey, you know who you fucked? The fans. That was your inappropriate relationship, Mr. Moore. You fucked us too. Like, and then he was like, hey, man, I'm gonna beat your ass. And then here comes the cops. I don't know. Oh, wow. I saw on X he threatened to hurt himself, then broke into his assistant's house. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, Jen, tell him, come back, Mr. Gary. I appreciate the vibes already, brother. We seem to be getting wild in here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we get crazy. We get a little crazy. We get a little nuts. We have a good time. Talk sports, talk shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we do. I try to make it fun. Look, I usually say it as part of the intro, but I did ESPN radio. In fact, my old co-host was just on. But I did ESPN radio for 7-8 years here in Houston. Also a stand-up comedian. So my goal has always been combine sports with laughs. That's the goal. So what we do. Lane Kiffin would have ripped some lines first. Lane would have been like, the fuck did you say? Right off his keys. Where my keys at? Be like, are you leaving? Now I'm gonna beat your ass. That's what. Yeah, Mark said a lot of shit talking here. Have a spine and a sense of humor. That's true too. The chat likes to roast themselves and each other, and yeah. But we, it's all in good fun. So, Barry, you missed a drink on the hype. No, my bad. I did miss a drink on the hype train. My bad. We had our second hype train of the day. Look at Ivan. Like he never left. Back here talking shit. All right. This is for the hype train. Little Basil Hayden action going. Love this shit. Very smooth. Not a huge alcohol content, but very, very good. 80 proof. Very good. Cheers, you guys. Thank y'all for the second hype train of the day. Shout out to my boy, Joel Blank. Thank you to USN TV for the raid. And welcome all the new followers and folks watching this show right now. Much love, everybody. Cheers. Wow, that was a big one. That was a little too much. He broke into the side piece apartment. Oh no. Is that what it was? Was he like, what was he doing? He's like, bitch, you got me fired. Just take your money and go, bro. What are you doing? He was banging the daughter of a Bear Scout. No way. No way. Amos said, hey, yo, pause. Shut up, Amos. You child. Yeah, I hadn't heard of that yet. Me neither. I didn't know that was to be true at all. You got a link for that, Heartthrob? I'm not falling for that. No, I don't owe you 5 shots, Alex, you raggedy bitch. Always trying to get me drinking and drunk so I can end up like an alcoholic like you? No. Yeah, I don't see anything about it. What were we talking about? So we got the big raid from USN TV. That's my dude. Much love to USN TV and all the Raiders. We were talking NFL. Yeah, Miami's definitely out. The Texans, I'm not going to say they can win this division because I don't know if they can get their shit together that well. They also don't have the easiest schedule to close out this season. They have Arizona. Okay. They got the Raiders. Okay. The Chargers is not going to be easy. It's on the road. They have Indy at home. They have Minnesota on the road. Oh, no. That's it. So they have the 4 games left. Arizona, Las Vegas, the Chargers, and Indy. Arizona's not terrible, but they're not great. Is that a losable game for them? Yes. Vegas, they should win easily. Both those games are at home. They go on the road 1 week for the Chargers, then back home for Indy. And they should win that game. So this team very well could go 3-1. At worst, they're 2-2, but I think they'll go 3-1 down the stretch. And that gives them a favorable chance at making the playoffs. So have the Texans figured out who they are? That's a great question, and the answer really is kind of. They know who they are on defense. Offensively, though, they know what they're not. But I don't think that they have it on lock. I mean, when you watch your franchise QB struggle, but your backup doesn't, I don't know what that says. Yeah, I don't know. I'll tell you what, though. I really, and I mean really, feel bad for Indy. That is heartbreaking, man. When you look at the year that they were having and some of the tough luck that they've had in the past, whether it's barely missing out on the playoffs because of the Texans or just, Andrew Luck retiring and now you got to start all over. And you go through all this stuff, man, and to finally you take a flyer on Danny Dimes and he ends up being all world. And then so for him to get hurt like that, I don't care. I mean, I know they're, as a Texans fan, that team's a division rival. I don't give a shit. That sucks. That sucks for that fan base. That sucks for that franchise. I wouldn't wish that on anybody because I would want the Texans to beat them fair and square. You know what I mean? I would want them to make the playoffs or win the division straight up fair and square. And that's just not going to get it. So, what's going to happen is whether it's the Jags or it's the Texans, and it's not a foregone conclusion, but if Indy falters down the stretch and misses the playoffs, there's an asterisk on this to them. Yeah, but you guys didn't have to beat Danny Dimes down the stretch, or we didn't have Danny Dimes down the stretch, or whatever. But I just as a competitor and a sportsman, that sucks. That really sucks. It's part of the game. A lot of teams ain't going to feel sorry for you. But, yeah, just sucks for them. So if the Texans go 3-1 down the stretch, they end up 11-6, which last year they finished 10-7. So as bad as this was to start, they started the season last year 2-0. And at one point they were 5-1. And 6-2. Yeah, they were 6-2 at one point and finished 10-7. So not great down the stretch. You go 4-5 down the stretch. It's kind of the opposite this season. You start 0-3, win a couple in a row. And it wasn't until week 11 that they got back to 500, but haven't looked back since. They start 0-3 and they're now 8-5. So that means they're 8-2 in their last 10. That's pretty good. Pretty good. So they've still got, and they lost a close one to Denver. That was with Mills. Seattle just beat them straight up. But yeah, Davis Mills coming in and getting 3 wins was big. The Jags are interesting to me in the AFC South. The Jags, if Trevor Lawrence can just not do anything so stupid, I think the Jags can win this division. I think that's possible. I think they have it in them. They have the team. They've split with the Texans, 1 win, 1 loss. So I don't know how the tiebreak shakes out, but they can definitely win this division. Now, are they good enough to go much further than that? I don't know. I don't think so. See, and I think that's the difference. Is a team like, so you look at teams like the Rams, the Patriots, who else? I mean, it was the Colts for a while, but they've been really good on both sides of the ball. The Broncos. And the Texans, I mean, the Jags have been good, but not great at anything. The Texans are obviously best defense in the NFL, but their offense is so sus. They have a Super Bowl caliber defense, but their offense might hold them back. However, we have seen this team all season win in spite of its offense. Can that happen in the playoffs? Absolutely. I think the modicum defense wins championships still applies in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways. So we're going to find out. Didn't Rivers finish out with Indy in 2020? Yes. Yes. His last season was with Indy. I don't get why Indy called Phillip Rivers, who's been retired for 5 years, over Cam Newton, who's never actually retired. Walt said neither should have been called. There are QBs that are out there. There are QBs out there that league that played last season. Yeah. Yeah, that's what's weird, but I think they were looking for the reason they go and get a Phillip Rivers is his experience, his demeanor. He knows the offense because he is like BFFs with Shane Steichen. So this is a guy who's like in tune. I mean, they literally said that they would talk every day now, even now. So he knows the offense. He knows the playbook. It's kind of a plug and play type thing. It would be as if Texans were like, go out and get like a Case Keenum or something like that. You just kind of, you know, the system, you know, the people. It's easier. He's not a proven winner, but he has been successful. And I think that matters more, especially when you only have 4 games left. You don't have a lot of time for a guy to learn the playbook and all that. The problem is going to be shape. That's going to be the problem. Rivers runs the same offense where he was coaching at. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he knows this so well. Matt Ryan is 2 years out. Why not him? Again, you have to, part of this is Shane Steichen's relationship with Phillip Rivers. If I'm going to be like, who am I going to trust to save my season? A quarterback that I talk to every day that's had success in this city, that has been through the playoffs, that knows this league, knows what's expected of him, look, nobody's expecting you to come in and, you know, be Superman. Just don't be super sloppy. Just don't fuck this up. This team is built already well. Like, they can run the ball. Jonathan Taylor's best running back in football by a mile right now. Well, not by a mile, but pretty close. Bijan Robinson had something to say about that. Saquon Barkley might have something to say about that. Derrick Henry would have. Usually, he's turning it on. But, I mean, they're talking MVP conversations, certainly Offensive Player of the Year conversations for Taylor. Don't get in the way of that. Don't make a lot of turns. Don't throw a lot of interceptions. Run the offense. They don't need Phillip Rivers to be, early Phillip Rivers. They just need him to be a game manager and a coach on the field, and he can do that. I don't think it's super dumb. They just need to get his ass in shape. That's all. But it ain't like he's a running quarterback, so that, that ain't. Yeah, but if you can't avoid them rush anymore, knowing the playbook does nothing for you, that's kind of why he retired. Well, he was never a running quarterback to begin with. I mean, he certainly wasn't running away from a lot of people. Is he going to take his fair share of sacks? Yes. But give me 4 or 5-year-old Phillip Rivers versus most of the backups in this league. There's a difference. I mean, a 4 or 5-year-old Phillip Rivers is probably still slightly better than most backups in this league. So, yeah, Biana said Rivers was a statue. He would know. He would know. So, yeah, I mean, he knows what's expected. But I feel bad for them, but it's certainly not over. What is their schedule down the stretch? Let's check their schedule. Whew. That is fucking tough. Damn. They have the Seahawks, the Niners, the Jags, and the Texans left. Ooh. What? Damn. Good luck, Indy. Might be Audi. Okay. What? Let's go.
Boom. Roasted.
Suck it, nerds. He just wanted to get away from them 11 kids. I know. My favorite thing is now we have, y'all know me, my favorite player in the whole wide world is Jameis Winston. And not for his on-the-field play. But I cannot wait for some Phillip Rivers trash talk videos. Oh, my God. None better. Phillip Rivers trash talk is immaculate. I just think he's next in line to get injured. Well, I mean, okay. Alex, Colts, you're done. Yeah, that is not an easy schedule down the stretch. I wonder, let's see, NFL SOS remaining. Let's see. Colts have the toughest. Damn. Texans have the 27th easiest remaining schedule. Yes. See. Seattle, Denver, the Jets. Oh, I guess I could stop being stingy and share this with you guys. We're about to get out of here in just a second, though. Let's see. There we go. So this, I can make it a little bigger. Pause. Shut up, Amos, you child. Is he the first grandfather to ever play in the NFL? No, certainly not. Absolutely not. Who was that was probably George Blanda. The first grandfather George Blanda might be the first great grandfather to ever play in the NFL. All right, here's your toughest schedules down the stretch. And there's the strength of schedule, and this is their opponents, the tough opponents, and this is easy opponents. Indy is in trouble. Seattle's got it difficult. So does Denver. Damn, they got the Chiefs on the easy side. How's that feel, Chiefs fan? Huh? Chiefs Kingdom? More like Queendom. Okay. Jets. Baltimore 5, Chargers 6, Detroit 7, Green Bay 8, Chicago 9, Cleveland 10. There's Miami. There's their schedule down the stretch. Only easy game is the Bengals. Tampa, they probably beat Tampa. Hell, they could beat the Steelers. San Francisco 12, Tennessee 13, Carolina 14, Arizona 15, Minnesota, Buffalo, the Rams at 18. I don't know why I did Trump there. Kansas City 21, Jacksonville, there you go, 23, and Houston 27. Philly is at 30, so they got it pretty easy. They play Washington twice. Damn, you got to be mad if you're the Cowboys. Well, Cowboys have a pretty easy schedule. Dallas has the one difficult game, just like Philly. Okay. So you're telling me chance. New Orleans has the easiest schedule down the stretch, and they still ain't gonna do shit. Still ain't gonna do shit. Damn. Let's see. Oh, look at that. You could just do that. I didn't know. Look how cool that is. Giants have it difficult. Let's see. Tampa. Carolina's strength of schedule down the stretch. Okay. Is Carolina going to win that division? Is that going to happen? They're both 7-6. Strength of schedule. Carolina plays Tampa twice. Well, see, that's what's crazy is easy opponents. They have Tampa listed as an easy opponent. I mean, at Carolina, and Tampa listed as a hard opponent. But the fact of the matter is they're both 7-6. Now, Carolina's plus minus is a minus 50. That's going to be interesting. Carolina absolutely could win the NFC South. Hell, you might get 3 wild card teams out of the NFC West. Green Bay and Chicago. Detroit's still in it. They got a plus 90 there. Dallas 6-1, man. Can't be looking good for their playoff hopes. They got a lot of people to leapfrog. In fact, you can go over here to playoffs and see. Cowboys sit 10th right now. Whew, not good. Not good. But this Tampa and Carolina thing could change pretty quickly. Neither one, whoever loses that division is not making the wild card, though. I mean, that's just not going to happen. So, that was going to be a pretty tight race there. Damn, you already got 4 teams eliminated in the AFC and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the NFC. Damn. I mean, since he's pretty much eliminated, they ain't winning out. But that's wild that 8 and 9 doesn't, or 4 and 9 doesn't have them eliminated yet. What? Yeah, all these teams down here done. You're done. You're done. Fuck you, Hunter. What? Oh, this is my wife. Yeah, Indy and Texas. It's about where it ends right there. So those 2 teams plus the Jags, I guess, will be fighting for that final playoff spot. Interesting. Very interesting. All right. My wife has officially texted me that she's fucking hungry. So I am going to go make dinner. As for the rest of you, you can all go to hell. I'm going to Texas. Okay. I don't know what the fuck. I don't even know what's happening anymore. This is why you can't allow me to have several shots of whiskey. Hey, I want to say thank you again to USN TV for the badass raid. Amazing. 136 people? Fam, you crazy. Thank you for that, brother. Much love to you. I hope things are well. Thank you to everybody that followed this fine program from the raid. Thank you to everybody that resubscribed. Thank you to everybody that sent bits. Everybody that hung out for the day. What a fun show, especially getting a chance to talk to my old co-host from ESPN 97.5, Joel Blank. Good times there. Looking forward to what's to become with us as a couple. What? Okay. I love him, but not like that. All right, I will have the Pick'em contest for those of you that are in it. I will get it posted before the night's over. I promise you that. If you live in the Dallas area, I'll be performing at the Hyenas Comedy Club tomorrow night. 2 shows at 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock. Come catch a show. All you got to do is message me and be like, hey, I want some free tickets. I got you, pimp. I can't do that every show, but this room in Dallas, I can get some free tickets. So if you're in the Dallas area, shoot me a message. I got you. Come out and catch a comedy show. Get some giggles in your life. All right, for the rest of you, man, I love you all. Thank you for being here every day and being a part of the show. Thank you to Donna and Sylvia for the Thankful Thursdays. Everybody that resubscribed, much love. Good to see all of you that came back after a long hiatus. Ivan, looking at you. Joey, Mr. Christian Gary, and even Jet. We'll lump her in too. All right, man. Love you guys so much. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the football. I'll see you guys on Monday. All right. Until then, do me 3 favors. Be safe. Be kind. Love each other. Bye. What? Love you, CC. Thank you, Uriel. Much love. John, pretty good show. Thank you, Ivan. It's good to see you back, brother. Thank you, Flip. Thank you, Mark. Did Phillip Rivers take back Danny Dimes' jersey? Wouldn't that be great? Oh, man, that would be so great. Amos, I didn't see that. Sorry. Amos like, why you got to bring the Saints into this? They back to being the Aints, brother. I hate to tell you that. CZ said, go Pack, go. Never has anyone, including Joel Blank, rooted for the Packers as much as CC will be this weekend. Hey, man, I love everybody. We'll see you on Monday. Bye, everybody.
And he's making a YouTube video.